use no nonsense November, day 9, to simplify and supersize your business. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Our topic today is simplify to amplify, simplification. And it has been a huge push for me for the last, I'd say, couple of years, but especially this year. I have gotten to the point where the overcomplicated hodgepodging of everything that I do and all the different ways that I do it was getting really, really old. So one of the first things I did was I streamlined my content creation. And instead of having 3 different topics every day, I decided that I was going to take the annual challenge that I do anyway and fit that to supersize your business. And so that's what I've done. I talk about the same topic, but tweaked for the audience every day. So in Supersize Your Business, I talk about the topic simplification to create the business that we want. And then for the Be a Better You annual challenge, we talk about, well, how does this apply to our personal life? And I look for ways to have it be a double benefit to me personally, so that it helps my personal life and my development in different areas, as well as my things I'm doing in the business world. So today our topic again is simplify to amplify. We're also going to pop into and talk about the ideas process, step 2, which is the desired state. What is it that we want? Yesterday we identified what we don't want, or what the current, by saying this is the current situation. It's not perfect. It's not exactly what I want. And so today we get to decide and define, what does the ideal situation look like for us? So I shared the example that I picked, organizing my workspaces, which is really a good one because it helps me both personally and professionally. Anytime I declutter and clean up and organize an area in a way that makes sense, it helps free up my brain and my attention for other things. So how does this apply to our business, simplifying? And this is actually one of my favorite topics. Simplification to me comes from first documenting and identifying your processes, because complication, complexity, a confused mind says no. We know this with respect to our customers, so we want to be clear and focused in our messaging, but we also have to remember it applies to us too. If we're confused or cluttered or not sure about anything, and if we have a very complicated way of doing something or a very complicated process, or heaven forbid, a non-documented process, we've never even written down, hey, these are the steps I go through to achieve a certain result. Number one, we will do it a little bit differently every time, which wastes time and energy, and usually money and other resources. And we're more apt to make mistakes if we don't have it documented. Plus, in order to improve a process, we first have to know what that process is. So we can look at it and say, well, I don't even need to do steps 2 through 7, because they're unnecessary and I do them in another area. And if I just pull that information in from another area, I don't have to go out and do those things again. So we want to remember that, for example, in our businesses, if we can cut any unused steps out of our process, or any steps that are redundant, or steps that another department or another division actually does, that we could just get the information from them. It just streamlines and makes the process, number one, simpler, but also faster, more efficient, and more effective. And I'm all about that. Being a quality engineer, my whole 25 years in corporate America was about how do we identify what we're doing? How does it work and fit with the big picture? And then how do we make it more efficient, more effective, producing the results that we want, which is the whole quality aspect, in the least amount of time possible to serve the people that we're here to serve better. So today, think about at least one process or one thing that you do. And I'd say pick the most important thing that you are responsible for doing and look at that process today. If you don't have it documented, start writing it down right now. If you need help with that, I actually wrote a book on it, probably 20 years ago now, and I would be glad to share that. It's how do you actually identify your processes step by step, and then how do you go about improving those processes. I document all my processes, and at least annually I review them. I review them annually or whenever there's a change that impacts that process. Learned that in corporate America as a quality engineer, learned it in my different jobs and roles, and then applied it to the businesses that I've owned and operated, because I know what a powerful tool it is to get exponentially faster results than other people. So today, all we're going to do is we're going to pick one process, one thing that we do, share it in the comments below, and then when you've done it, when you've looked at it, at least either documented or looked at it, just just say how you felt about the process. Let's talk about how we actually felt about the process. Was it hard? Was it easy? Are you so relieved that you did it now, etc.? But make sure that we're cutting out any unnecessary steps. I'm going to eliminate those because they just take up resources that we don't need to use. And by resources, I mean time, energy, other people's effort, our own effort. And we want to get rid of those. Focus on the essential things and make sure they're included. But if it's non-essential and it doesn't add value, why are we doing it in the first place? And then we want to simplify for speed and sanity. I know that helps me anyway. It's one of the reasons I'm moving to the school platform, is because I can do everything in one place and I don't have to hodgepodge things I call it Frankensteining or hodgepodging, when I have to put a bunch of different systems and processes and platforms and things together. It's just so much time and energy and effort, and there's so many more distractions that I'm way less efficient. So this is why I'm making that move. All right. For our desired state, I challenge you to write a paragraph, and I say desired state as part of the ideas process intentionally because I want you to think not only about what is the desired state, what is it that you want, but also how it's going to make you feel, how it's going to enhance your life. Because if you have those emotional things built in, you'll get there much faster. So just share done or what your desired state looks like in a couple of sentences in the comments below as well. And if you want or need any help with any of this today, processes, simplifying, or identifying your desired state, please just ask. Go out, make it an awesome day, and I'll of course be with you tomorrow.